The neck measurement, this is for a low cut collar. I'm going to measure around the back of the neck, down to where the hole in the throat is there, and V it like I've done there. That is the low cut collar. The high cut collar is around the middle of the neck, just making sure that if you do pull the tape too tight, obviously it will be restricted in that area. So just nice and firm in regards to there. That is the high cut collar. The torso. Get the person to hold the tape in the hole in the throat. Get them to open up the legs. Some people have got bigger thighs there, so make sure they open it up and you can see the tape going through the legs. Place it back up. If you can turn around for me, please. And then what we're going to do is we're going to measure to about 1 inch short of the hairline, which is the middle of the neck there. So I hold that there, and I let this be able to slip through my finger, then go down for guys, making sure you're not wearing baggy clothing. And that I'm after about 1 inch to 1.5 inches between the groin areas. So if you can just turn again for me, please. Measure down, around the front there, 1 inch to 1.5 inches between that. If you're wanting the suit baggier, make sure you measure it baggy. Alright, and that is the torso measurement. The next measurement is the upper chest. This is more for a tight suit, and I measure underneath the armpits, across the base of the back, and then dropping his arms there. Bear in mind, if you measure the shoulders short or tight, narrow, and then you measure this, you'll get a pleat in the material there. This is only for a tight suit or for ladies for taking that measurement. So arms up, place the tape around, arms down, making sure it's stood naturally, and then obviously add into that as you see fit in that area, like so. That is the upper chest. Then we're going to go on to chest, making sure they lift their arms, place the tape around the back, across the front of the nipples, and all I need to do, by adding into this measurement, if I get them to take a nice big deep breath, and let the tape slip through my fingers, and relax, and just making sure the tape is horizontal, and that will naturally add into that measurement. However this tape fits on that area of the body, that is exactly how the suit will come through. Working our way down, so we've got the lower chest, which is slightly lower. It's making sure the tape's horizontal again, place it round and across. Same again, if you want a little bit of room. If it's a tight suit, leave it as is, because we've got the lycra panels all the way down the side. Get them to take a nice big deep breath, and you can see that it naturally adds into that measurement again. Get them to point out the belly button. Tape around, making sure it's in the correct area. And then, what I ask is I take a pleat there and I ask them to feel around the tape and add into that measurement as they see fit. If they want it tight, remember we've got lycra panels all the way down the side there, and just add into that measurement as you see fit, or as they want. Remember, however the tape sits on that area of the body, that's exactly how the suit will come through. What we're going to go down onto is the hip measurement. I call it the hip measurement, but I realise the hips are here. It's actually across the bum area. So I look across the widest part of the bum, around the front, and same again. We have got movement from the lycra panels on the side of the hips, but if he wants to add into the measurement, I'll take a pleat again, have a feel around that tape for me, and just add in as you see fit, how you want it to fit. If you want it baggy, add something like you can see there. And that is the hip measurement. Going down to the thigh, the widest part of the thigh, that's what we're after. Tape around it. Same again, if it's a tight style suit, you just measure the measurement as is, because we've got lycra all the way down in the inside for stretch and in the groin area. But on this one, I'd then speak to the person, individual, and just get them to open it up. And like you can see here, however that tape sits, same again on that area of the body, that's how the suit will come through. So if it is like that, you can see that when he does flex his leg and bend it, it's going to have a lot of movement in there. On the tight style suit again, we've got the lower thigh. The lower thigh measurement, and that's just above the top of the knee, and if it is a tight style suit, it'd just be measured as is. There's no need to measure this for a standard style suit. On the knee area, what I'd get them to do is put a slight kink into the knee, place the tape around, and this is one we've had not coming through wrong, but what I do is I aim to put some about that area of measurement like so. Alright, because then when he does bend his knee and flex it, he then fills it, and then if he goes back, obviously there's going to be plenty of room there. For the tight style, it'll just be a case of measuring the knee, everything like that. So for the tight style suit, all the measurements would be taken with a straight limb, arm or leg. for obviously the normal ones, we'll look at the others in a bit, they'll be measured flexed. Going down to the calf area, measuring the calf, this is more for shorts, calf cuff circumference, and that is that area there where the lycra panel would sit, and also for the tight suit. Working down, we've got the lower thigh. Same again, if it's a tight style suit like you see Ben wearing these leggings, then you just measure the exact measurement. And then we go down to the ankle, which is just below try and get below the ankle bone, and measure that tight as well. For the outer ankle, if you just take your shoe off a second, outer ankle measurements, we need to be able to get our foot through the tape. So what I suggest you doing is lift the heel, place the tape across the front. That is the max minimum he'd be able to get his foot through. So what I normally do is I'd say around about 13 is the minimum. So then it's however you want it to fit. So if you've measured that, on a tight style it doesn't matter, but on a normal suit you want it so you can get your foot through the loop and down, and then if you want drag, I'd open up the tape a little bit more and create a bigger loop. The shoulder measurement, get them to pull the shoulders back, and all I'm aiming to do is measure end to end, and that is for all of the suits, alright, just end to end where it just starts to drop again. That is the shoulder measurement. Spin around for me, shoulder armpit, get them to put an arm out to the side, place the tape across the top of the shoulder, underneath the armpit, and then down. And then all I want him to do is put his arm down, because that increases the length of the tape. And what we're aiming for on a normal style suit is I want about 2 fingers underneath the armpit. That's for men. Obviously if people want it tighter and it is a tight style suit, we can narrow that down because we've got a different shoulder system and it's all a one-piece arm. That's the shoulder armpit measurement. Bicep. So bicep, for a tight style, once again, we'd measure the arm just with the arm straight and around, allowing as much as you need in it for obviously that measurement. And same again, we go for the lower bicep in that area there. The bicep for a normal suit, we're going to flex his arm, place the tape around the widest part, and then all I'd do is I'd place the tape around like that, and you can see that the material then, that's exactly how it'd look on his arm there. And then I just ask the customer whether he wants it tighter or looser. Placing the tape around the forearm. Same again, if it's for a tight style suit, if you just measure it like that, because we've got the lycra band all the way down the inside, which allows for stretch. If not, what we need to do is just add into it and hold it across the elbow there. So no matter how much he flexes, his arm's then not going to be impeded by the material on the side of there. Working down to the wrist, tape around the wrist, it's a lycra cuff, so that just needs to be as is. And then we've got the outer cuff, where I think the minimum better be able to get his hand through, put your fingers together, is that. So all you need to do with the outer cuff is make sure you can get your hand in and out of it. So what I normally do is think about relation to the bicep measurement, to the forearm, to this, because you don't want it to narrow down too much. And if you're a bigger person, you need a little bit more lift. So I just create a loop around his wrist, like so, and then I'll just be able to pull it out like that. Add into all these measurements as you see fit. He can't get his hand through that, so I'm going to open it up a little bit more, and then you can see the external cuff there, and he can get his hand through. Going from the last point we took the shoulder measurement to, all the way down the arm, to the length you require the arm to be. Alright, we're not going to tell you where to measure. If obviously you're a bigger person, you can have the lycra cuff and then have the material draping over. So if you just extend it to the area you want it to be on the arm length. Shoulder to elbow is just keep the elbow down like that, feel for the middle of the elbow, measure down to the shoulder to the elbow there. Shoulder to lower bicep, this is more for a bootie suit, measuring down to that area there. And for the bootie suit as well, once you have took that, you need to then measure that area. But when we are measuring the lower bicep, is the seam will be there, it's going to be a lycra sleeve what comes all the way up. So I just make that slightly bigger, so when if he does flex or anything, same again, the seam's not going to start digging into his into his lower bicep, and that is for the bootie suit measurement. Now we're going to move on to the leg measurement, as in crotch to knee. So you're going to pinch the tape, making sure none of the tape's sticking out at the top of that area. Place the 2 fingers just underneath his groin, and then we're going to measure down the inside leg to the centre, or just below the centre of the knee, and that is a crotch to knee measurement, making sure they're stood up fully. Okay, For the free fly suit, for a tight suit you want to be measuring down towards just underneath the ankle bone. For a bootie suit you want to be measuring to the floor, because obviously the boots need to go over your foot. And then for a free fly suit, just measure to the length you require. Bear in mind you can have a lycra cuff and then you can have the excess material going over the bottom, so it all depends on that. With regards to this, thinking of a shorty suit, you're going to measure the crotch to knee, and then you're going to be measuring the length of the shorts or the shorty suit. Normally got a lycra cuff on it, so I'd aim for around about the calf area, because it'll naturally ride up and sit in that area there. For the booties, what we're going to do is we need your shoe size, we need your shoe width, which is just across the width of the foot or the shoe, and then we're going to do the bootie length measurement. So all you do is you get them to turn that side on, get them to sit down on a chair, okay, I'll put my leg out and forward for me, okay, sit down on a chair, so that's at right angles, we haven't got a chair at the minute, and all I'm going to measure is making sure that is in line with the front of his knee, heel is, and I'm going to measure down towards the front of the toe like so. Depending on how you want to fly, as in we're toes pointed, flat footed, you can increase or decrease this measurement, and that'll help you with that there. And that's the bootie length. From the hole in the throat to the length you require the jacket to be. You can see Ben's got his top down here, so if it has got a lycra cuff on it, well it has got a lycra cuff, and he had it this length, I'd measure that really tight, which then the lycra cuff pulls in on the hips and it'll stop it from riding up. The shorter you measure that jacket and the tighter, there's a chance that when you raise your arms, the jacket will raise. Well, as you can see, this has stayed in place because it's nice and tight. So the jacket length from the hole in the throat down to the length you require. Jacket waist. Better if you've got your rig on, and all I'm going to do is measure from the armpit down to the lateral strap. And what I want to do is stop it about 1.5 inches higher the lateral strap, due to the reason that the wing doesn't tuck over, it doesn't disfigure the wing. And that's the armpit to lateral for the camera jacket. Now it's in relation to the shorts or the trousers, where the waistband is, dead easy, just measure around that area there. If you want it to be slightly wider, it will be taken in from a belt, you can add it to that measurement as you see fit. So where you took the last point from there, place your finger there, and we're going to measure the lower torso. So this is where the shorts are going to sit. All we're going to do is get him to hold that, the tape, turn side on for me, open up your legs again, the other way please. Tape comes through his legs and back up to the rear belt line, so basically where the waistband will sit. And then, same guys, down underneath, you want about an inch and a half between underneath the legs. If you do measure tight with any of these in these areas, obviously it will be tight in that area.